Good afternoon and welcome. This is ASO TV News. Many thanks for joining us. I am Isa Nu. The headlines. Federal government warns against illegal recruitment of Nigerians into foreign conflict. First Lady Remi Tinubu, Senator Oluremi Tinubu donates perishable food items to National Mosque, Abuja as Ramadan approaches. House of Reps calls emergency sitting on February 17 to discuss 2027 elections. While on the foreign scene, Nigerian backs African Union reforms, pushes for stronger democratic governance. Here are the details of the news. The federal government has warned against illegal recruitment schemes targeting Nigerians for participation in foreign armed conflict. Ministry of Foreign Affairs, via the spokesperson, Mr. Kimiebi Imomotimi Ebienfa, said government expressed grave concern following report alleging that Nigerians nationals are being lured abroad with false promises of lucrative jobs, security positions, educational opportunities, or migration pathways only to be deployed to combat zones. According to the statement, recruitment agents are reportedly using deceptive tactics, including offers of high monthly salaries, signing bonuses, and promises of fast-tracked citizens in foreign countries. Victims are often compelled to sign military service contract in language they do not understand without legal counsel and have their travel document confiscated upon arrival in the host country. The federal government therefore warns all citizens against engaging in or accepting any offer that involves participation in foreign armed conflict, emphasizing that anyone who does that outside government framework would be blamed for such. It announced its engagement with domestic and international partners to investigate this report and intensify public awareness campaigns. Nigeria embassies and consulates worldwide have been directed to heighten consular vigilance and provide advisory services to citizens. The presidency, through the office of the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has distributed perishable food items to communities within the National Mosque in Abuja as part of the President Tinubu's renewed hope support for vulnerable families in the coming month of Ramadan. The donated items include bags of both sweet and Irish potatoes, chickens, eggs, and an assortment of fruit. Daniel Obi reports.
The initiative is part of an ongoing renewed hope effort aimed at elevating the economic hardship faced by vulnerable Nigerian families through steady support with food palliatives. Ustaz Abubakar Sadiq Mohammed, chairman of the Palliative Distribution Committee of the Abuja National Mosque, praised the remarkable gesture of the First Lady, stating that no item, including a smile, is spared in the expression of goodwill to one's neighbor.
Of course, it's a long way because every family needs these items. Without mentioning them, all the items are needed in Ramadan for the family at all times, especially now, and especially as Ramadan is approaching. Our gratitude to Our Excellency knows no bounds. Our appreciation and the appreciation of the poor and the recipients is endless. Everything could be distributed as charity. Islam teaches us that even a smile could be charity. So, distribution, everything could be distributed, yes.
Beneficiaries like Abubakar Ibrahim and Aisha Muhammad appreciated the wife of the president, Senator Oluremi Tinubu. They thanked her for her uncommon love and motherly care in this show of affections towards the needy of the society.
First of all, I want to thank the First Lady for this gracious gesture to the National Mosque. I think this distribution of food items go a long way to serve the household. We want to appreciate her a lot, and we look forward to see more of this, inshallah.
Honestly, they're actually going to go a long way because these are items a an average family in Nigeria doesn't usually see it all the time. And getting it at now, honestly, it goes a long way for the citizen. To anyone that have received this, I'm sure they are going to sleep happy today at home.
The First Lady has been actively involved in various philanthropic activities, focusing on food security, empowerment, and support for vulnerable groups. The distribution of these food palliatives is expected to bring relief to beneficiaries, particularly as the Muslim Ummah prepare for the coming month of Ramadan. Daniel Obi, ASO Television News.
Meanwhile, the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, paid a condolence visit to the former Senate President Bukola Saraki family on Saturday following the death of his father-in-law, Otumba Adekunle Ojora. He disclosed this in a post on his official X handle, noting that the First Lady visited to offer her sympathies as the family continues to receive mourners. Saraki thanked individuals who had reached out to the family through prayers, messages, and visits, describing the gesture as strong sources of support. He added that the encouragement had been particularly comforting to his mother-in-law, Erelu Oju Olakbe Ojora, his wife, Toyin Saraki, and other members of the family during the mourning period. The Ojora family had earlier announced that the Olori Omoba of Lagos died on January 28, 2026, at the age of 93. The House of Representatives says it will reconvene on Tuesday, February 17 for an emergency sitting to deliberate on electoral matters following the recently announced timetable for the 2027 general elections. The decision to reconvene was conveyed to lawmakers through an internal memorandum from the Office of the Speaker, highlighting the constitutional significance of the development and the need for urgent legislative attention. Spokesman of the House of Representatives, Hakeem Oritimi Jr., confirmed the development in a statement, noting that the emergency sessions reflects the resolve of the House to respond promptly to issues with far-reaching implications for Nigeria's democratic process. In a related statement, Chief of Staff told the Speaker, Professor Jake Dan Azumi, explained that this sitting will enable lawmakers to rescind their earlier decision on the electoral amendment bill, particularly concerning the timeline for publication of election notices by INEC. The House reaffirmed its commitment to strengthening democratic institutions through responsive lawmaking, urging members to prioritize attendance as deliberations on the matter are expected to be treated expeditiously. The political landscape in Kuje Area Council witnessed a significant shift on Thursday, February 13, 2026, as several members of the People's Democratic Party gained fresh momentum following the defection of notable members of the All Progressive Congress in Dafara Gaubde ward. The defectors, who were received amid jubilation by party faithful and residents, formally declared their allegiance to the PDP, citing their desire for inclusive leadership, grassroots development, and effective representation in Kuje Area Council. Leading the reception was the PDP chairmanship candidate, Honorable Danladi Zakoi, alongside the Kuje PDP chairman, Honorable Abdullahi Muhammad Apo, and other prominent members. The event turned into a rallying point for supporters who described the development as a clear indication of the PDP's growing acceptance across wards in the council. Speaking at the occasion, Honorable Zakoi appreciated the new members for their courage and confidence in the PDP's agenda, assuring them that the party remains committed to delivering people-oriented governance and sustainable development if elected. In his remarks, Honorable Abdullah Muhammad Apo welcomed the defectors into the party fold and assured them of equal rights, opportunities, and full integration into the PDP structure. He emphasized that the party's doors remain open to all well-meaning residents who are passionate about the progress of Kuje. Apo further urged eligible voters across the area council to turn out en masse on February 21st, 2026 to cast their vote for Honorable Danlami Zakoi and all PDP candidates, expressing confidence that victory at the polls would usher in a new era of purposeful leadership in Kuje Area Council. The city of Abuja has been selected to hoist the biggest flag in Africa. The proposed flag hoisting event was disclosed to the media when a delegation from the Rotary International led by Rotarian Caroline Acheng Mora paid a collaborative visit to the management of Abuja Broadcasting Corporation on its Katampe Hills premises. Daniel Obi reports.
According to Rotarian Caroline Mora, the proposed event is essentially a symbolic gesture to mark World Polio Day, celebrating Nigeria's polio-free status, again widely attributed to Rotary International's efforts in combating the disease.
The idea behind this gesture is to bring awareness to the End Polio campaign. Polio is the biggest project that Rotary International has, and polio is a disease that has existed throughout the world and is now only found in 2 countries, Afghanistan and India. However, even though this may seem like countries that are far away, polio anywhere is polio everywhere. We need to be sure that this is a disease that is eradicated throughout the world.
Rotarian Tumishe Adekpoju, also a member of the Rotary Club delegation, gave specifics with regards to the proposed event.
The mass is very strategic. The location, this is more like the center of Abuja. Abuja is the capital of Nigeria. So that's why we have chosen the mast to actually host the flag. So we're looking at, because the largest so far that was flown was about 3,000 square meters. So we're looking at 4,000 square meters. That's what we're estimating.
The acting managing director of Abuja Broadcasting Corporation, Mr. Akin Ajibola, expressed happiness for the collaboration, highlighting the significance of hosting the event at ASO Radio and Television premises. He emphasized ABC's willingness to engage in future mutually beneficial partnerships, aligning with the FCT Minister's vision on public healthcare sensitization, a collaboration which aims to raise awareness about polio demonstrates ABC's commitment to its corporate social responsibilities.
The hosting of the flag by Rotary it should not be a new thing to ASO Television Services. Already, we have been actively participating in the eradication of polio campaign across the 6 geopolitical zones in the country. You know, recently, the FCT Minister of State just launched the second round of polio campaign eradication in all the 6 area councils. We were part of it. ASO Radio was their key partner. It was trying to encourage the people in the community to see the need for them to take the advantage of the campaign so as to ensure the reduction in the spread of polio.
The proposed flag hosting event is expected to draw attention to the importance of continued vigilance against polio and other health challenges. Daniel Obi, ASO Television News.
You're watching ASO Television News. You can watch us live on DSTV channel 392, also on StarTimes TV channel 127 and Free TV channel 507. We are also on the UHF band on channel 38. Still to come, Nigeria backs Africa Union's reforms, pushes for stronger democratic governance structure. Stay with us for details after this time out.
Good evening and welcome to the greatest show on earth. This is a people's game. They will be bubbling about this one for weeks and months to come. Let's go!
Stay connected. Stay with us, starting from Yanga and Jolly.
The Defense Headquarters says troops under Operation Savannah Shield have dislodged terrorists from identified checkpoints and hideouts in Kwara and Niger State, restricting their operations in the areas. Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Michael Onoja, in a statement disclosed that Operation Savannah Shield swung into action in Kwara State following last week's terrorist attack on the Woro community in Kayama local government area. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu ordered the movement of 1 battalion of troops to the area in wake of the attack, in which more than 100 people were killed. According to Major General Onoja, the troops conducted offensive operations covering Kwara and Niger State and denied terrorists freedom of action in the region. It said significantly they conducted operations in Burgu and Mokwa local government area of Niger State and Baruten, Edu and Ifelodun local government areas of Kwara State. Troops identified terrorist checkpoints and hibernating areas and dislodged them while they continue to respond to information on the movements and activities of the terrorists in those areas. Giving an update on troop operations over the past 3 days, Major General Onoja said troops of Operation Adankai in the northeast have continued to sustain operational momentum, denying Boko Haram splinter groups freedom of action across the region. The national leader of the Ukomu Igala Association, Major General James Aliu Ataguba, retired, is calling on media influencers in Kogi State, particularly those with the Eastern region, to be constructive, objective, and responsible in the use of social media. He made a call at a dinner night with the social media influencers and key stakeholders of the Ukomu Igala Association at the Water Fountain Park in Abuja. Our reporter Kabiru Jibril reports.
It is a get-together dinner between members of the Ukomu Igala Association, social media influencers, and traditional media practitioners from Kogi State, as leaders of the Ukomu Igala stress the effective and responsible use of social media in promoting peace and sustainable development in the state.
So we want them to come to terms with the usage and how best this tool, powerful tool, can be used to shape Kogi East positively, especially in terms of development, not just physical development, you know. So those are the reasons why we are here this evening.
You can create your content and still achieve what you want to achieve, but still be ethical, you know, professional, and then with integrity.
If there's any news and they want to publish, they should go into it to verify, to find out if it is true or not before publishing it.
Ahead of the 2027 general elections, the Ukomu Igala urged media influencers in Kogi State, particularly those from the Eastern region, to be constructive before publishing politically related stories.
We're trying to shift away from the old way of noise, unregulated utterances, unethical disposition on social media, to a more refined, productive way of social engagement.
Our culture is the basis that Nigeria is built on. That's why on our map is Kogi State. And that is the reason why we should be the heartbeat of Kogi State. Our culture is so rich. We have stories. We can depict our stories on social media. We can market our brand on social media.
The gathering also served as a melting pot between Ukomu Igala and various key stakeholders from Kogi East to share visions and ideas for the continuous development of the state while bringing them on board the Ukomu Igala Association. Kabiru Jibril, ASO Television News.
Registrar General of the Corporate Affairs Commission, Barrister Hussaini Ishaq Magaji, in collaboration with anti-corruption agencies, have emphasized the need to harmonizing national register of the beneficial ownership across the country towards transparency, while cautioning banks and other financial institutions for non-compliance. The CAC Registrar General at the Anti-Corruption Day in Abuja, to marking its 35th anniversary, affirmed that the Commission remains the custodian of corporate identity records, highlighting collaboration with relevant anti-corruption agencies to deepening the fight against corruption. Business correspondent Ille Emeje tells us more.
Registrar General of the Corporate Affairs Commission, Barrister Hussaini Ishaq Magaji, at the Anti-Corruption Day to commemorate the CAC's 35th anniversary, cautions financial institutions against non-compliance with its reforms on beneficial ownership, while highlighting the need for information sharing towards better results.
I wish to reaffirm today that CAC remains committed to a prompt, responsive and proactive support system for all anti-corruption agencies. Our collaboration must not be episodic. It must be sustained, structured, and institutionalized. We must deepen information sharing, joint investigations, and real-time verification process so that our collective efforts can translate into measurable outcome for Nigeria.
While urging stronger collaboration to fight the war against corruption, the CAC boss disclosed that over 200 companies are currently under investigation with the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) for non-compliance of its rules.
CAC has also taken decisive steps to cleanse its internal system and demonstrate zero tolerance for corruption. In the year under review, I submitted to the EFCC a list of 248 fake company registrations illegally inserted into our system through unlawful means for investigation and prosecution. These were purported entities operating within the Nigerian system without traceable corporate identity.
In his remarks, Chairman, Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, Dr. Musa Adamu Aliyu, who was represented by the ICPC Director of Public Enlightenment and Education, Mr. Demola Bakari, underscored that the reforms of the CAC are crucial to strengthening investor confidence and accountability.
Transparency works best when institutions operate as a system, not in silos. Therefore, whole of government collaboration should be vigorously pursued. Private sector and citizen ownership. Transparency must be embraced as a shared national value, not merely a regulatory obligation.
The ICPC chief commended the CAC, describing the commission as indispensable to Nigeria's anti-corruption and development agenda. Ile Emeje, ASO Television News.
Nigeria has endorsed the proposed institutional reforms of the African Union, AU, throwing its weight behind the measures aimed at strengthening peace and security governance on the continent. The endorsement was presented on Saturday by Vice President Kashim Shettima, who represented President Bola Tinubu at the closed session of the 39th Ordinary Session of the Assembly of Heads of State and Government held in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Shettima also cited deepening democratic institutions and fostering stronger collaboration with international financial institutions and the private sector as a necessity for Africa to become competitive. The key restructuring proposals are designed to enhance domestic and regional resource mobilization with a view to securing affordable and sustainable development financing across the continent. The reforms also advocate the adoption of a continental framework to reduce inequality anchored on credible data systems, strengthened social protection mechanisms, the creation of productive jobs and inclusive industrial policies, according to the Vice President. Reinforcing governance structures within the AU is critical to addressing persistent security challenges and promoting democratic stability across member states. He also emphasized the importance of building resilient institutions capable of responding effectively to emerging threats while advancing the economic transformation. The 39th Ordinary Session brought together African leaders to deliberate on reforms intended to reposition the AU as a more efficient, accountable, and development-driven institution amid growing calls for sustainable financing and coordinated continental action. Leaders of the global and regional bodies and development partners attended the opening session, including the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres. Meanwhile, on the margins of the ongoing 39th Ordinary Session of the Assembly of Heads of State and Government of the African Union in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, Minister of Foreign Affairs Ambassador Yusuf Metamatuga held talks with Baroness Jenny Chapman, Minister for International Development and Africa of the United Kingdom. Their talks was focused on advancing preparations for the forthcoming state visit of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to the United Kingdom and identifying new opportunities to deepen Nigeria-United Kingdom relations. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Kimiebi Imomotimi Ibenfa wrote in a statement that the meeting also exchanged views on the regional priorities, reaffirming shared commitment by both countries to sustain dialogue and stronger collaboration in support of security, good governance, and economic growth. That's the bulletin, but before we go, a look at one of our major headlines. The federal government of Nigeria has raised concerns over the rising cases of Nigerian citizens being recruited illegally to participate in foreign armed conflict. I am Isanu. Thanks for watching.